Hi there. This is another episode of Vaughan is Local. I'm Daniel, and today I am excited to have not just an old friend, not a colleague, not somebody that I just happen to have a good relationship with, but actually somebody with whom I do business and can speak to, uh, the value of what they bring to the table, and a very proud Vaughan resident and business, Mr. Gaetano Barrila of Barrila Law, here to talk a little bit about his company and what they've been doing lately. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Dan. This is a great platform and a great thing that you guys have started for the Vaughan community, and I'm really excited to participate.
Well, this is a fun one because we are just gonna we are legitimately old buddies, able to chat about something, and hopefully let people, if there's anybody in this city left who doesn't know about Barilla Law, then now's the time for them to find out because they are now at home with nowhere to go and they're watching their computer screen, so they're going to learn right now about what you bring to the table. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what your company does? Obviously, Barilla Law, it's kind of straightforward, but specifically what kind of law you deal with and how long you've been in the neighborhood, things like that.
Yeah, we're a boutique firm. Our practice is dedicated to real estate, wills and estates, corporate commercial law. Um, we really help out small business owners and families that have end consumer issues that they need to take care of, whether they're buying their first home or selling their existing home, or they need to put a will in place. Uh, we tend to be their go-to people, and that's who they reach out to. And on the business side, if you're starting a business or if you're further growing that business, our entrepreneurs and small businesses reach out to us to assist them with those facets.
Awesome. And so how long have you been operating in Vaughan now?
On March 1st, we celebrated 11 years in business.
Wow.
And I actually read an interesting stat the other day that only 4% of businesses make it beyond the 10-year mark.
Serious, just in
And
general, like that's like business, 96% of businesses fold after 10 years.
with the original founder, yeah,
Wow.
only about 4% of businesses make it beyond the 10-year mark.
Oh man. Okay, well, I'll get a trophy made up or something. Sorry, that's awesome. And you guys are growing, right? Like I remember and I've seen like growth along the way, but like how big are you guys now with
I mean, you know what? We've kind of been the same size for a little bit. We did go through some growth. Right now, we've got two lawyers and about four law clerks, and we do have a few people on maternity leave, but they'll be coming back to us. So you know what? I think for us, we're really the right size. We're not too small to the point where it's just me, but at the same time, we're not a mega downtown law firm, and it allows us to be really nimble and allow us to be really flexible. And during this whole COVID thing, I think our size and our ability to implement and change things quickly really helped us on the business side.
for sure? So on that front, what sorts of adaptation have you found yourself forced to do? What have you been doing in the last few months and how's it affected your business?
Well, you know what? I often tell people we invested in people and technology well before COVID, as opposed to really investing into luxury offices. And we were kind of equipped to go work from home anyways. We had started a program almost a year and a half ago where our lawyers and law clerks could go and work from home. And we really did that to support our law clerks. We had a number of young mothers on staff, and they wanted some flexibility, and we wanted to work with them and give them that flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
And we started a formal work from home program for them, and they really enjoyed it. And at that point, it was really, you're at the office as a default, you're kind of working from home 1 to 2 days a week. Now we're looking like you're working from home right now,
All the time.
period,
Yeah.
and you might be in the office 1 to 2 days a week. So we've really flipped that around. COVID has really pushed the boundary for us. We were already close to going paperless, but really now with us having to work remotely, and as well the regulators being agreeable with certain things like virtual signings and notarizing documents virtually or via video conference, we've really embraced the whole paperless office.
For sure. Well, and that's what people, I think, everywhere are praying for, is that they don't have to go somewhere and they don't have to put pen to paper if it's not necessary. So is almost all of the business you do able to be paperless, or all of it right now? Or
Yeah, right now, everything, we have changed everything over to paperless. We've incorporated a few new businesses because lots of people that have unfortunately been laid off during these times. We've got some really creative and amazing people that live in our city and in York region,
Mhm.
and they've decided to start their own business, and we've helped some businesses incorporate their companies, and we've dispensed with the formal paper minute book, and we've got a digital minute book now. You can incorporate your business completely with us digitally, and you'll sign documents via DocuSign and get a PDF version of what would otherwise have been a paper minute book. On the real estate side as well, we're doing signups via video conference and doing everything via either Zoom, FaceTime, Google Meet, whatever platform you're comfortable with, our people are good with, and then doing document signing with DocuSign, and people really love it because the example I gave the other day was, we had a client who actually was working and had to go into the office, and they were an essential service, and his wife was at home, and he signed up. We did a real estate closing, and he was in his office, and she was at home, and I was at my home, and we didn't have to get anybody to come into the office. And those clients were really grateful for that experience of being able to close that real estate transaction without taking time off work, finding somebody to watch the kids, coming over to our office. Like, we love our office, we miss our office immensely, but it was a great thing, and they were really happy with the experience of just not having to leave their couch or their workplace to close a real estate transaction.
Definitely. So do you see then, as we slowly but surely, fingers crossed, come out of COVID and things start opening and all that, is this still your intention, ideally, of the way the future is looking, that people are hoping to be, as far as not staying at home, but as far as the paperless and not having to go places to get things done? Is that where you're going to focus a lot of your efforts?
Yeah, we are going full steam ahead with doing this going forward. I think the only thing that will hold us back really is, the regulator, whether the Law Society, and I had this conversation ironically about an hour ago with another colleague, is, whether the Law Society that has implemented these temporary measures continues to have these measures in place going forward. And right now we can identify an individual via Zoom or video conference. We can do a paperless sign up, and the bank and the Law Society, they're agreeable with us, and counterpart signatures or digital signatures. If the banks and the regulators, go back to their old ways, then unfortunately we'll be left with no choice in those areas. But where, on the other areas where we can, on the corporate side, I don't think we'll see another stitch of paper. On anything that we possibly can that's not regulated by either a bank or the Law Society, we're going to make the push to, do the paperless transaction and do it via, video conference.
For sure. So you mentioned the services that you generally offer. We've seen now, just in the last couple of weeks, real estate is starting to go mad again. Like, the moment people were let out of their houses, they all flooded whatever listings were left. So I see that picking up. Have you seen, on sort of a morbid level, but real level on the wills side of business. Is that something that's picking up quite a bit with people being?
Yeah, we had a real big surge of wills in towards the end of March. I think a lot of people hit the panic button, and
Mhm.
probably unnecessarily. I mean, um, it's a great idea to have your estate plan in place, and I think it's really important. I could sense the panic in people when they were calling us, and um, we did our best to make sure that we dealt with that and addressed that. Um, and we've done a lot of wills over the past few months here, being at home, and really we have two options right now. We're doing a either counterpart or two-stage will, where we kind of ship the will out to you, and the will is still a document that we still need ink on paper. But we can still sign it up via video conference. So we'll draft a will, ship it out to a client, get on a video call with them, and then watch them sign the will, and then they'll send it back, and then we'll witness it on this end. Um, Either that, or the other thing that our staff have come to call the drive-through will, where you drive by either my house or my associate's house in your car, and park, and we watch you sign the will from the comfort of your driver's seat. We kind of hand you a box, and in the box is the will, and you sign it, and then you kick the document back out of the car, and I sign it, and we keep our social distance. We're using masks, we're using gloves, and we found a work around to get it done. And yeah, a lot of people have been really interested to get their estate plan put in place.
For sure. Well, I mean, I think just from a comfort level, there's a lot of companies out there that are treating this as, I mean, a burden and something that we just want to get through it and get back to the way things were. But there's a quote I've heard a lot of times in the last few weeks, and I want to say it's Winston Churchill, but I'm probably going to massacre the quote and who it came from. But it was, don't let a good crisis go to waste, is the quote that I keep hearing. And honestly, it sounds odd, but it's one of those things where, you know what, opportunity and progressing your business really seems, in your case for sure, it's coming because you're nimble, like you said. You're able to make changes on the fly, and it seems like you've found, at least in some part, ways of the future that people are going to want to take advantage of. So
Yeah, you know what? I really attribute it to our staff. When I look at it, at the very beginning, kind of when we did this whole lockdown thing in the middle of March, um, when we were having staff meetings daily and talking about how we were going to roll out our business and what we were going to do, is our staff really came together with some of the ideas, with some of the things that we could do to help clients, with how we would implement some of these procedures. Like, I mean, almost every law firm is doing a contactless closing. Our goal has really been to amaze people when we deliver that. And just in terms of the setup, in terms of how you get the invite, in terms of how the documents get circulated and so forth. And they've really embraced it. I think really at the core of that is that, when I go back to it, is, our goal is really to help people. Our goal is to help, entrepreneurs and families in Vaughan. And that's been at the forefront for all of our staff members.
that's awesome. So, okay, I haven't even told anybody yet, and neither of you. How do people actually reach you? How are people going to find you? Where can they follow you? All that good stuff about where.
Okay, so I mean, you can find us online at www.barrilalaw.com. We have social media on Instagram and Facebook. We have a Twitter account, which we don't use very much, but we
Most
should
people
use
don't.
it more often. Um,
I
um,
think the guy down south is the main one who uses Twitter right now.
yeah, he loves Twitter.
Yeah.
You know, you can call us, you can email us. We're very responsive. So yeah, basic ways of getting a hold of us.
All right. Well, we'll. I'm sure as around us right now, there's going to be words and logos and things where people can click and find you. So we'll make sure people can get to you. But it's one of those things where people need certain services. I don't know. Were you guys considered an essential service, or was it
Yeah,
part of your business?
lawyers were always considered an essential service. There's been some, some of my colleagues who do litigation have been a little restricted with some of the court closures, or that they'll only listen to emergency motions. The other aspect of our wills and estate side is estate administration, and we've had to administer some estates during this time.
Hmm.
And the courts are not issuing any new certificates of appointment, or the ones that they do, they're only issuing on an urgent basis. So we've had an opportunity to get a few certificates issued during this time. And obviously those courts are on smaller staff and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been a little bit more challenging on that side, that's for sure.
Okay. And so going forward now, I mean, like you said, you're going to try to stay as paperless as you can and do the good stuff that you've put into place and keep it going. Do you have any, for the business itself, do you have some goals that you're looking to reach in the coming year, or as things progress and come out of this? Like, where do you see Barrila Law going? You've done 11 years. You're the 4%. So
you know what? Yeah, we really want to be the go-to people, and I think the one that we really share as a staff is that we really want to be Vaughan's go-to law firm for entrepreneurs and small businesses, and help their families as well. And that really ties in well to what we do, and continue to help and continue to serve people. I mean, we have particular targeted market goals, like in terms of revenue and stuff, but yeah. I don't think they would excite anybody.
Let's flash those up. Let's let everybody see the charts.
Yeah, I can pull up some equations and stuff and get my Schulich hat back on in terms of where we want to be. But yeah, I think that's the overarching goal, and I think as well probably to use less of our square footage. And one of the conversations we've been having a lot of as a staff is, do we need to occupy the footprint that we do? I mean, we've always believed in the digital paperless law firm, and right now we've got a lot of square footage at our office, and the question is do we continue to use all of that square footage, or how do we continue to use it? I still think we're going to need a permanent place to meet with clients, because although some people have embraced technology, we have a few of our other clients who just don't feel comfortable with it, and it's fine. And we have found ways to work around that. And like I said, the other day I did a real estate sign up where I went to someone else's condo, and we kind of met in the courtyard in the back, and they signed documents on a table and stepped away, and then I signed the documents, gloves and face mask, and we made it work.
Nice. Well, I mean, as I said, I can attest to the fact that, I mean, you're local, but I've actually used your services, so I can tell people you're where people need to be. I'm sure there's lots of decent lawyers out there, but
yeah. You know what, on the whole local thing, I think that's another thing for us is the virtual thing has helped us really almost by accident expand geographically. Because people know that we're doing what we're doing. We just put together a commercial real estate transaction where the property's in Markham, we're in Vaughan, the seller is in Welland, and the buyer is way out in the East End in Scarborough. And we put all of that together, with everybody staying in one location. And
right.
and it was really amazing to hear the feedback from both the buyer and the seller, and saying, hey, this process was seamless. Ordinarily, I'd have to run around to lawyers and get people in to have meetings, and we're able to dispense with that now.
That's awesome. Well, that is, I guess, in a nutshell, where things are going, I hope. I mean, as much as I'm kind of sick of being cooped up in one place, it's nice being able to do everything from one place also. So social time we need out there, but at the same time, when you just want to get something done and you can do it in your pajamas, so it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I think even for us, growing up in the time frame that we did, and even for me personally, I miss the office. I miss the people.
Yeah.
I think, one of my favorite parts of really practicing law was actually meeting with people face to face. And I'm probably going to butcher the quote or the saying, but practice of law is really a consumer facing business.
Mm-hmm.
And I really miss that interaction. You're right. It's great that we're able to work from home, and but hopefully we'll be able to find a better balance for it. And we are working towards getting the office back up. We've ordered the sneeze guard for our reception. It's coming in next week. We've got the stickers. We've got masks. We've got gloves. We have hand sanitizer all on the way. So we do have a plan for swinging the doors back open.
Yeah, well, it's the irony of everybody, all these companies saying contactless, we all want to be contactless, but we don't want to be contactless with people. We want to actually keep a strong contact.
Yeah, no, that's a great way.
Yeah, just not reaching out and touching them, but you're right. I mean, this is nice to be face to face, and I guess technology today versus 20 years ago allows people to still interact, but you're right. There has been a little bit lost for all of us in terms of relating face to face with people who aren't our spouses and kids, right? Those have been and maybe the occasional trip to Walmart, or Costco.
Yeah.
So
I'm a Costco guy. Costco guy.
Yeah, well, it's slowly but surely we've got our masks, we get out there, but anyway, I mean, I want to thank you for taking the time, and again, barrilalaw.com is where people can go to find you, and we'll make sure that people can see how else to reach you. But that's the nice thing. You're captive right now. They'll get you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I've really enjoyed watching the Vaughan episodes, the previous ones. And I think that's, if anything, if I can close on anything, it would be that, our city is a true testament of the entrepreneur spirit. And we've got some great small companies like yours, like, one of my favorite, if not favorite real estate brokerage. So, to see some of the members of our community and those entrepreneurs coming together and helping each other out, and whether it's things that we need for the office, or PPE, or the sneeze guards, or face masks, or anything like that, it's really been amazing to see how people have come together to help each other out.
Well, that is a perfect way to close. So I won't add anything else, but I appreciate you taking the time, and yeah, it's keep on keeping on. We're slowly but surely coming out of it. I saw today, I mean, this is going to be recorded and played later, but this is the lowest number of new cases in the last 3 months came out today. So we're on the road to recovery.
Great. I should have said, when you had asked me what my goal is, my number one goal is actually to get a haircut. And
it's yeah, I don't know. I try to butcher myself. I've been cutting my own hair, if you can believe it, since my wedding. I haven't gone.
It looks really good. Looks really good.
Because it got butchered for my wedding, and that day I just had to swear off the barber. I mean, I'm not even near where that guy was. I've got like a phobia now, and I support the hair industry just for everybody else, not me.
No, I can't wait to get back to my barber / hairstylist and get my hair done.
Well, yeah, you and I mean 90 everyone.
Me and a bunch of people. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Keep booking appointments now, so when it's open, you're somewhere near the front of the line.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, we will chat soon and often, and again, appreciate your time, and we will see you soon.
Thank you. Stay safe and stay healthy.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.